Hi, I'm Michaela and welcome to another cage tutorial video. Today we are discussing the 4-piece Mole Richardson kit. We will then go through the components of the kit, setting up the kit, any safety precautions to take, and further accessories that you can check out from the cage to use with the kit. We'll then wrap it up with how you can wrap it up. In each kit, you'll receive a Mickey, which is a 1000 watt open face light, 2 tweenies, which are 650 watt lights, and a B-tweenie, which is a 300 watt light. I'm gonna start over, okay. In each kit, you receive a Mickey, which is a 1000 watt open face light, 2 tweenies, which are 650 watt lights, and a B-tweenie, which is a 300 watt light. You also receive 4 lighting stands, and each light has attached a ring for holding each accessory or component that you'd like to add to it. Behind the magic compartment, you'll find a barn door specifically sized for each light that you can use for shaping your light as you'd wish. And they each have their own scrim bag full of their variants of scrims. Here you also receive a ring that you can attach gels or any type of diffusion to. You receive 2 single scrims and 2 double scrims. The single scrims stop it down by 1 stop of light. The double cut down 2 stops of light. Each scrim also is either a full or a half scrim, so if you only want to cut down half of what's coming at your light or the full light, you can do so. And that is what you have for your components in your 4-piece Mole Richardson kit. First, you're going to need to set up your light stand. You'll begin by loosening the bottommost knob and spreading out the legs, which can sometimes be a little sticky. It's good to get the spreaders as much at a 45-degree angle as you can, so when they're parallel with the floor, that's going to give you the strongest support. Make sure you re-tighten up that bottom knob. And when you're raising your stand, it's custom to raise from the top ring. So if you're working on a tall light stand, you're always able to reach the knobs to adjust them. So when you take your light out of the kit, the yoke is going to be at the top of the light. You need to adjust it so that it is now at the bottom of the light. And you know which is the bottom because it has the little box. Make sure you tighten your knob for the yoke so it does not move around. And then loosen up the yoke at the bottom so you can slide it right onto your baby pin. And then make sure to tighten that right back up. Now you're going to want to do a strain release here on your cable. You can just simply roll it around a couple times and then take the string that's attached. And this way it does not pull on the back of the light, which will damage the power running to it. It is also really good practice to use a stinger in which you'll plug in the light cable to. This way, if someone calls for it to be dragged out farther, you aren't running to grab a stinger, you're already prepared to take your light to where it needs to be. And it's always good to make sure it's nicely coiled down at the floor, especially on top, so it can move nice and you're not creating too many tripping hazards for everyone walking around. Now make sure when you turn on your light that it is not facing towards anybody. So you either want to turn it away or clear out the area that it's turning on. Hit striking. Each light has a knob on the back, so you can turn it from flood or spot. That just alters the narrowness or wideness of the direction of your light. So for camera purposes, I'm going to turn our light off. Now the lights get very hot very quickly, which is why it is good to have a pair of leather gloves. This way your hands are protected, but you'll still want to be careful around the light. Your arms and everything can still get burnt. Please be careful. You can then attach your barn doors, which have a ring on the back that slides right into the prongs here on the light. This lever comes up and down with the press of a button on the side to secure or unsecure your barn doors. Sometimes sometimes you have to just work at it as they don't always slide in the smoothest. All right, now that that's set, you can open these up. The barn doors are what you use to shape the direction of your light if you want it to be more forward, very wide. This is also what you can pin more diffusion and gels to change your color temperature or light quality. It is behind your barn doors that you can slide in your Scrims, chosen a double, and that can slide in right to the same place where your barn doors slide onto. You can always add multiple Scrims. About 2 or 3 Scrims can usually fit if you really want to keep cutting down your light. Another component that you can check out from the cage are our Chimera kits, and with that you're going to need to check out a speed ring. There are varying sizes of the speed rings to make sure that the light that you want to put a softbox on has the appropriate size of speed ring that you're getting from us. Each Chimera kit, it comes with your softbox, your diffusion, and your baffle, both of which are used to soften and diffuse the light. You also get 4 of your poles that will run through the softbox. It's sort of like building a miniature tent. You put each of your poles in one of the corners. There are little kind of sock pockets that they slide right into. This is where you're going to need your speed ring. Please cut this part out of the video.
I'll cross this out.
Alright. So the speed ring has 4 corners of divots in it, and that is where each of your poles attach to. It's sometimes a bit of a fun ride getting them all in. You can see on the side where they each attach, just like that. And then you can Velcro your pieces together. And you've created your Chimera. Inside, this is where you can attach either your baffle or your diffusion. For the purpose of this video, we will do both. You can do both, or you can just do one or the other. So it has 4 little Velcro pieces on each corner. That'll allow it to sit nicely. And then this has a Velcro parameter that you can attach inside. So once your box is complete, you'll slide it right into the light the same way I slid it previously and the same way that the barn door goes on. And there you have your soft box to diffuse your light. Now we're going to show you how to wrap up this kit properly, because if it is returned in a mess, you might receive a possible fine from the cage, and we also want to keep everything just nice and clean for the next person to use. The lights, as I said earlier, will get very hot, so it's good practice to turn them off and let them cool while you begin wrapping up the rest of your components. If they're still hot by the time you have to wrap it, then use gloves. So you want to make sure your scrim bag and your barn doors go back into the secret pouch. And that is snapped appropriately so it all stays tight. You have to loosen the back knob. And once again, you want to bring the yolk back up to the top of the light. You want to always keep your lights upright. You never really want to store them upside down. You then coil up your cord nicely. Make sure they're nice and neat, same size coils. Some people think that they have to do the under-over method for power cables. That is not true. You only do that for data cables such as BNC or XLRs. So if it is just a power cable, aka used for running power, not data, just a simple one direction coil is how you want to do it. Sometimes you have to fight it a little bit. They don't always go back smoothly. But take your time, make sure it's nice and neat. All right, this can then wrap over the yolk. And with your safety tie, you can put it back so it stays. Now, due to the case's shape, you sometimes kind of have to adjust the yolk and the cable so that it fits into the box, just like that. Just collapse down the light stand. Once again, turning the knobs. And you want to make sure that they're tightened so that when next person takes it out, they don't fly everywhere, but you don't want them crazy tight. Just a simple little hand tight. Don't make it too difficult for everyone else. And then once everything looks nice and neat in the box, you can close it up and you're wrapped. You can always ask us at the cage to print off an additional checkout sheet that has each component listed in the kit. It's always good to go through a quick inventory of each item, making sure you have every scrim, every barn door, every bag, just every little piece that came with the kit, because when you return it back to the cage, you will be responsible for any missing items. That's also really good practice for in the future checking out from rental houses. You're gonna really wanna make sure that everything is there when you get back. Once again, you then want to roll up the stinger, and just normal coils are how to do that. I'm going to take this and unplug it. Please return these nice and coiled. Tie them up. And now you are ready to look like a professional when you bring our stuff back to the cage. So that wraps up our 4-piece Mole Richardson lighting kit. If you have any further questions, please stop by the cage or give us a call. Also, please like our video and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.